Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Today is a special day because today I have one of my former gymnasts. But I'm going to wait a little bit until more people come on. It's been quite a week for me. I was speaking, I was on the radio, I was doing a talk, and I kind of just stretching a little bit here until my wife gets here. She's over there someplace. And I'm waiting for more guests to turn in. We have a lot of story to tell today. Eventually, we're going to have all the gymnasts that I had in the past. Come on. Let me go over here. I see that Andrea is already on the green room. Let's see who's in here. Okay, so she's coming. So anyway, welcome to Tweed Talk. Today we're going to be talking to one of my former gymnasts. She was actually on our first team, and she was really good. She doesn't know how good she actually was, but we're going to talk about that a little bit. And my wife is running around, and here she comes.
Hey, I'm here. I'm never going to leave you by yourself again. Is it just me, or is it really hot in here? I'm sweating.
It's really hot in here.
It's really hot in here. Okay, so it's not just me. Okay, so who is here? I thought you were going to talk about your week last week. You had like
I started, but I was talking to myself.
Okay.
And so who's here?
Yeah, we don't have any comments as of yet, but that's okay. It's still rather early.
I've seen some people already there watching, but that's okay.
Yeah, maybe they're just being shy today.
Now, I'm being shy today.
You are being shy.
You know, I know our guest. I know her for such a long time, and I was thinking about this the other day. Actually, yesterday, Friday, I was thinking about this. I was telling one of the kids, do you know that these kids spend more time with me than they do with their parents?
Yeah.
Because
I remember you telling me the stories.
Yeah, basically what they do is they go to school, and then after school they come to me, and they spend whatever 2-3 hours with me every day, and then they go home and then, hi mom, food, and then go to bed.
Yeah.
So
some of them were at your house on the weekends too, right?
When Andrea and Susie Weiss, Weiss before Teresa now, and when they used to come in the weekend, they used to come to my house in the weekend and stretch. I mean, it's unheard of today, but we did a lot. We were groundbreaking for a lot of things that we did.
Hi, DJ.
DJ.
He said, hi, little brother in the house.
And DJ's got some story too. He like when he was 10, he was a computer genius.
Oh, awesome. Oh,
back when you had to be a computer genius.
Yeah, because you can't Google it. You couldn't Google it back then.
Yeah,
hey, Shawnette, what's up, cuz?
How are you? I tell you, there's a lot of story that shaped my life, believe it or not.
Ooh,
because
that was deep.
One of the things that the kids don't know even though I was coaching then, I was teaching then. There were certain things that they did that made me change the way I think. And when I was writing a book, a lot of my book comes from what I learned from them. And one of the things that Andrea probably didn't know is that, of course, she probably knows this, but I was learning the language as I was coaching. Right. And there's a lot of words, and I told you that they used to play jokes on me. They used to play jokes on me.
How terrible!
And when we bring her on, we're gonna go over that and see if she remembers, because she was very young at the time, and then she completed through high school, and I was kind of upset because I have some videos that I wanted to play, but I couldn't transfer them. But maybe next time when we get most of the team together.
So last week, you had a speaking engagement on Thursday.
Right.
For the public library. You did that through Zoom. And Wednesday, sort of at the last minute, because I somehow missed an email, WJFF, the local radio station in Jeffersonville, they had contacted you, and they did a quick little phone interview because your talk on Thursday was about handling your feelings and emotions.
Handling your feelings and emotions.
And if you guys did not get a chance to come into the Zoom, that is available on the Ethelbert Crawford Library's YouTube page. And it was quite.
My background is gymnastic, martial art, dance, and of course, and dabbling into the acting and things like that. And all of these things, you have to confront your emotion. All of those things, even when you're acting, you're pretending that you're angry, you're pretending that you're happy, and things like that. So, most of the things is like I said on the talk that if you could handle your emotion, everybody would be Simone Biles.
Yeah.
You see? So one of the things that I have with this team, and I'm going to bring her on, is that there wasn't too much of that. There wasn't too much where I had to convince you to handle your emotion. They were so ready to go, because back then I used to say, for instance, I would say, Andrea, we're going to do an Arabian. She would go, what's that? Then I'll go and do it. And just, that, okay, we'll do it.
Great coaching. I love how you came home and you didn't change your shirt.
Oh, no, I was working.
No, you always come from work, but you always change your shirt. But I love how you didn't, because you have on a gymnastic
Didn't have time. Didn't have time this time. And plus, got to represent.
It's very appropriate, though. Tweed's gymnastics.
That's right. So we're going to bring her in.
Yes, let's.
Okay. Here she is. Hi, Andrea.
Hello, how are you?
I am super good.
Very good. Very good.
There's a lot of the story that we discussed, that I discussed with my wife, that some people are not aware of. So I'm gonna start with this. I don't know if you remember this.
Okay.
But when you were, I think you were either 10 or 11, and you came to me and you said, I think my teacher is chauvinistic.
Oh, I remember. Yes, I was in 6th grade. I remember.
Okay.
Yep.
And I asked, why is that he thinks that? And he said, because he won't let you push the projector.
Right.
Only
it was my Spanish teacher. It was my Spanish teacher, Mr. Alvarez. What? I remember.
Oh my gosh.
He would in the beginning of the class, for some reason we had to move this projector. Maybe there was a class before our class, and it used to make me mad that he would only let a boy do it. He would let the boys do it.
Do you remember what I said to you?
I don't remember.
This is the part. I said to you, you know what I want you to do? You go over there and show them that you could do better push-up than the boys. And then the following week, you came back and said, he let me push it.
He did. He did.
Yeah, he did.
He did. I probably listened to you and probably, got my way.
Yeah,
but you did. Right. Confidence. You always gave us the confidence to, push ourselves and, fight for what we believed in. I mean, Pete, you were always more than a coach. Gymnastics, the whole experience was, looking back on it, was way more than just a sport.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I didn't know. I knew how good you were. I didn't know how good you were until I continued to coach.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna tell you why. I bumped into your dad, and then he said, "Hey, do you remember that Andrea was the first one to do a Sukahara in this region?"
Mm.
And when we were doing it, I didn't even think about that.
Right.
But if you remember when you went to the high school competition,
right, in high school,
you were the only one doing a souk.
That is true. And I remember, for some reason, I always had the, conceptually, I always thought that I was like this close to the floor. And remember that when you had to videotape yourself? Remember you had to video how you had to jump?
Right, exactly. I told him that.
I didn't believe you. I was like, I'm going to hurt myself. I'm going to fall. I'm going to hit my head. I'm not making it around. It's not going to happen. And I never would believe you until you videoed it. And then I was like,
I said, look, I had to jump to get you.
Right.
Yeah, and not only did you do a souk, but you did a souk pike.
Well, but that might not have been on purpose.
So there is a judge, right? There's a judge that judged you at a high school meet, and I still see her. Her name is Julie. And I remember she was judging you on a souk, and I said to her, "Souk." And she looked at me and she thought I was clowning around.
Right.
She said, "Souk." I said, "Yeah, souk, pike." And they didn't believe me at that time when I said that. Until you did it. I still see her. She's still coaching.
That's crazy.
Judging. Yeah, she's still judging.
Yeah. Is it Julie?
Julie,
oh
yes.
my gosh. That's crazy.
Wow. Amazing.
So Andrea, tell our viewers about accelerated movement. Tell them about that and what made you start that.
Yeah, so I've been a physical therapist for a long time. Graduated in 1990, physical therapy school. Kind of followed the footsteps of Liz Cohen, if you remember.
Yes.
And, I worked for a long time. And then where I live now in Ridgefield, Connecticut, I just kind of decided it just had nothing to do with COVID, because I started actually during the shutdown. I started my own business, but I decided to leave my current job to just kind of go out on my own, be my own boss, and, treat the way I want to treat, and more one-on-one time, and that kind of thing. And so, sadly, in the quarantine, I had colleagues and stuff who were like working in the ICUs, and I just felt like, why am I sitting around waiting for COVID to end? So I kind of got on the bandwagon and started my own company, came up with this name, Accelerated Movement Physical Therapy. And what I do is I bring the physical therapy to you. So which I think was and still is nice, convenience, not just because of COVID and, you don't have to go to a facility or be around more people, but also, there's just the convenience of transportation and time and, you're like just us working out together. You don't have to worry about, other things like other people being in the room or, having someone who's not a physical therapist working with you. It's just us one-on-one. So I started that about a year ago, and so that's what I've been doing.
Oh, so it's more personal. I like that. It's more one-on-one.
One of the things that we have loved since we started doing Tweed Talks is that we have discovered that many people have started businesses during the shutdown. and that are extremely successful just because you find your own niche and you're like, okay, well, you know, we need this, so I'm going to start this. And then we had another woman with a partner who started a whole, like an upscale, not a flea market, but, you know, so that seems to be one of the things that a lot of people are doing. They're starting to do more even during the shutdown when everything was affected. Everyone's being busy.
But you didn't start it because of the pandemic, right?
Yeah. And I think even just being connected, like through Facebook and things like that, other people, whether they're doing it as like a side job or because maybe their corporation or their PT job sort of laid off, or they're not getting as many people coming in. A lot of people kind of started out even like a side hustle. So I think, I definitely think there's niches, just as you said, Crystal, where, they're popping up. They're popping up for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I know that, you know, personally, you had 2 injuries when you were doing gymnastics.
Right.
How did that?
Yeah.
How did that help you in doing the job that you're doing?
Yeah, it's funny. Like I'm sure when I was 16, you know, and like you said, opening the show, that we as kids growing up probably spent more time with our friends and in gymnastics, to have to then get injured and then, you know, oh my God, what do I do now? You know? So, you know, I would say, you know, probably when I was younger, it was devastating. And then, you know, going into college, I was supposed to compete on the college team at Ithaca College, and that kind of didn't happen. But I have to say that going through the rehabilitation, I don't know if it's my personality or just because I grew up doing gymnastics or being an athlete and, you know, the whole no pain, no gain or whatever. But I mean, it definitely contributed to who I am today. And, you know, I don't think I would change it, you know, if I were to do it all over again, because what I find now is I have these, you know, young high school girls, 14, 15, 16-year-old, who have torn their ACLs and then, similar to like me, tore one and then tore the other. And, you know, I hold those girls special in my heart because I feel like, you know, channel my inner Pedro Tweed, and I try to be like a mentor. And, you know, this past year before I left my current job, there was this high school girl who in my town who tore her knee, rehabbed it, got back, tore her other knee. She was so distraught, so upset. And sometimes you forget, like, I don't, sometimes for some reason, like, it just doesn't come up that I said, oh, you know, I don't know if I told you I was a gymnast growing up. And then sometimes I say that. And then sometimes I say, you know, I tore both my ACLs, you know, because it was like over 30 years ago, if you could believe that. And, you know, they're like, you did, you know, and they know that I'm a huge skier, that, you know, I run, I don't really restrict anything that I do, you know, for a 52-year-old anyway. And, you know, and they feel empowered. And she, you know, actually is going on. She got accepted this year to physical therapy school. And I wrote her recommendation to get into school. And you know, and that's when you realize that, you know, going through what you went through and sharing it with someone and being like, you know, if I can do this, you can do this, and knowing what they're feeling and explaining that, hey, that's okay, that's normal, and you're going to pick yourself up and you're going to get back there, and this is all you have to do. And it's very empowering to the patient, and that's one of the things I absolutely love about doing what I do.
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of stories that I tell my kids about you. And because now looking back at it, I didn't realize how crazy I was as a coach.
I love how crazy you were, Pete. I think it's awesome. And I mean, it just goes to show you, like, you know, being such a role model. I mean, honest to God, like, if you said, you know, go do this, like, I know we said, well, what is that? But we never questioned whether we should do it or not.
Right, I know.
Because we knew if you told us to do it, if I fell from the sky, you were going to catch me. I don't know. Like,
you know what was funny about that? And that, you know, I don't recommend it today for coaches, but I remember going upstairs and we had a show downstairs. And I said, Andrea, we're going to do a double back.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, and I put on top of a mat.
We didn't have a spring floor, right? We didn't even have a spring floor, right?
We didn't have a spring floor.
We didn't have a spring floor yet. I remember.
And then we went downstairs, and when you did it, Buddy Goldsmith went, a double? People didn't know that we just went upstairs and practiced like the first time. And then we went downstairs and did it.
I'll tell you, that is trust. That is trust in your coach. If I didn't know it. But I
think the craziest times that Pete was probably the craziest, like my memories are, and my favorites, some of my favorite things was always like when, well, a few things, because I was thinking about this, is one thing is, you know, because like before we had the high school team, you know, we worked out 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. Forget even counting the weekends that maybe we came to your house and stretched, or you met us in the gym on a Saturday or whatever. We weren't really part of like a high school, or we were like separate. And so one of my favorite things was when it was like springtime, like right now, like the beautiful weather today, and Pete would move the bars outside into the parking lot.
Oh, yes.
Facility, right when all the buses were coming by, and we'd be doing like, back hip circles to handstand and baby flyaways and, and all kinds of stuff. And we'd be outside, literally in the parking lot of the neighborhood facility. And people would be like, what's going on? I mean, you would think it's like Cirque du Soleil, but no, it was just us.
Just high school gymnastics.
That was outside.
And so you look like you froze.
We'll give it a second.
Yeah. We used to do gymnastics outside. We bring whatever in front of the neighborhood facility, and I remember that day. One of the days that we were doing it outside, and Damian Smith used to be on the team. Yeah. And she was doing back herself, and some newspaper person came by and
they did a story?
Yeah, he did a story. So we got it someplace around that.
Jen, the bar, I think the bars might have been different because those bars need to be hooked into the ground that we have now.
Okay.
So maybe she needs to go out and come back in.
Yeah.
I was going to show a couple comments because Jen posted something. She left a really good comment.
Yeah, Jen, we have freestanding bars, and which has
the thing that was filled with either water or sand or whatever.
So that's why we were able to do that. And we have more than one bar back there.
The closest thing you do to that, there she is.
There you go.
Wait, take her out again. Take her out and then maybe let her come back in. The closest thing we do to that now is when we do the coin drop at ShopRite. The kids stand on top of the garbage can and then do a back top of the garbage can. Okay.
I'm bringing you back.
Let's bring her back in.
I hear you.
Is not invited.
There you go. I could see you.
Pete.
Yes, I could hear you.
Broadway and marching down Broadway and go, Andrea, do a round of applause talk, like just in the street. He'd be like, remember?
Yes, I remember that.
Whatever parade it was, I don't know if it's the Memorial Day parade. I don't know. Just
the parade. We used to have a truck.
Yeah, truck, and he would, okay, ready, everybody, back tuck. And we would just be moving through the parade. He would just be like, okay, whatever you say. And then also, I'm sure mentioning, then the third thing I was seeing, which is crazy, we'd be at Stop and doing the tag sale can thing. And people would just be walking by us, and Pete would just be like right on the grass. He'd be like, come on, girls, let's start tumbling. And all of a sudden, the money just started piling in. Remember that too? Right on the grass. Yeah. He'd be like, you know, he'd tell Susie Weiss to like hold her leg up, you know, and like, you know, and April Brofman would do something, and he would tell me and Tammy to like tumble or do something, and then, you know, all the money coming.
Yes.
That's a good fundraiser.
Yeah, we still do kind of something like that. So you got into the physical therapy because of Liz Coyne?
So no, I think it was coincidental actually. But I think because, you know, she was 4 years ahead of me, and I think I didn't know that she went to physical therapy school. But then when she was already a physical therapist for a while, and I would come home for the summer, I would work at Jim Spink's office, and she sort of like mentored me like the last couple of years, like helping me pass the boards. And I worked there for a while, and it was just nice having someone, you know, who I knew through gymnastics, and kind of I followed the same path. But I think it was coincidental.
Oh, okay. You know, I used to make everybody do push-up, of course, you know. But when we did push-up, there was something that you, Rachel, and Tammy used to say. And I found it kind of interesting. I think I even brought about that in my book, the upcoming book. When I used to say, okay, do push-up, you used to say, are this legal?
Oh, I forgot about that.
And Tammy said, are this clean?
Right.
And Rachel used to analyze it.
Right. You're talking about because of what our parents did for a living.
Exactly. Yes.
That's right. I forgot about that. That's so funny. Right.
Yeah. Are this legal? And one time you got stuck on the handstands.
I do remember that. It wasn't a competition. I was in a competition, right?
Right.
Oh, was she on beam?
No, she was on the bar.
On bar?
On the high bar, unless she got stuck on the handstands, and she said, Pete.
I said, Pete, I'm stuck. I literally, like, you know how you're there and you're there, and then you're there for like an uncomfortable amount of time. And I don't know why I was stuck. I guess maybe my body wanted to go the wrong way, but I wasn't going to let it. But I couldn't get it to go the right way. So I was just like, what do I do?
and you were on the high bar. So
what happened?
Chicken down.
Did you have to push her over, or did she eventually?
No.
Okay.
I couldn't reach her, honey. She was on the high bar.
I was going to say, because that's high.
I don't even remember what happened.
No, I know.
And sure.
I think I was just told, like, I think it was just next time you don't have to like don't talk, like just like let it go.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
No, we just.
I was gonna say, did they deduct you for talking during your routine?
Oh no, the judges laughed. We all laughed about it. It was funny.
Oh yeah.
It was funny.
So, Andrea, I have a question about how you manage your mobile.
Oh.
Yeah. So you go to your patients, right?
Yes.
So do you basically have like if you have 3 patients a day, do you have everything that you need with you in your vehicle, and then you sort of go to them? Is it an actual mobile unit? Or
no, but I think that would be so cool,
right?
To like drive one of those big, like, you know,
like a big Winnebago or something.
People go in them, but no, sadly, no. So it started out because it was summer last year, you know, and like this kind of weather where, you know, with COVID and the no vaccine, I was like, why can't I treat people outside, you know, on the deck and exercise, especially like people with, you know, like that are working on gait and strength. And I would bring like a yoga mat, or some people had like a chaise lounge in the backyard. And so I did that for a little while, and, you know, I would bring things like a foam roller or bands. You know, I tried to like keep it to that one patient and, like little simple things. And then as the weather turned, I realized I had to get more stuff. So then I invested in like a good solid massage table. People were more willing, as like surgeries opened up, people more willing to like let me in their houses. And so, like little by little, I sort of accumulate fun toys that I can collect and work with patients. So obviously, I'm not doing like a lot of modalities like heat or ice or anything, like that. But yeah, but I can still, put my hands on patients and, do manual things. And, but, I like to try to empower patients. The thing is when you're one-on-one with a physical therapist at home, I like to think that the whole hour about that or plus or minus whatever I'm with a patient, that there's no like fluff, there's no like 10 minutes you're warming up on the bike or a nice, it's like pure education, treatment, and empowering them. And so I feel like it's very effective, and the patients seem to like it. And I feel like the outcomes are really good from it too, where
the personal touch.
Yeah, and you specialize on neuro?
I don't specialize in neuro, although, I mean, a little bit. I shouldn't say not at all, but I have an interest in, balance, and also in the window of Parkinson's patients. So I have like a certification training. There's a thing called neuroplasticity, where when you push your exercise level to a vigorous level where you're working out at like 60 to 80% of your maximum heart rate for 30 minutes, which is the recommendation, it kind of lights up the parts of your brain that builds new neural pathways, as I'm sure maybe you're familiar. And, not just, so vigorous exercise is one way to do that, but also like training your brain and doing like, while you're doing a balance activity, counting backwards from 100 by threes, or, naming colors as you're doing exercises, or challenging your balance to like unlevel surfaces or things like that. So I wouldn't say neuro in the sense that more of like on an outpatient basis, like people who are, I do that. But I also, have a love of the spine, like, orthopedic type things. And, and sort of at this early phase of my business, I feel like it's a little bit hard to specialize because, different people, in the times that are happening, like I notice a lot of people are probably starting, surgery starting to open up. So people are kind of like, I just had this surgery, or I just had this. So, so it's kind of like a hodgepodge, right now, but I also like to do things for the community. For those of you, I mean, I don't think we have anybody who's listening who's too close to me, but on Tuesdays at 3:00 at our community rec center, we have like walking paths, and I just kind of put it out there at 3:00 from 3 to 4. I just offer, free of charge. We just, whoever wants to show up, we do some like exercises, some brain training, and some walking. It's called Walk and Talk with Andrea. And so, whoever shows up, we just, do whatever. And
And then you did a live. You did a live Facebook.
I did. Yeah. So I sort of opened myself up to social media, trying, like, I have those Movement Monday videos that I try to do on Mondays, and I try to like hit a topic. And so like this week, I don't know if you saw it today, I did activity trackers, like benefits of using an activity tracker, and things you should consider if you're looking into getting one, because they offer a lot of really good metrics. I think, I touched on a lot of different things like balance and how to squat without knee pain, and, all different kinds of things. What was your question again?
No, no, no. You answer it. You answer it.
Okay.
Because I wanted you to let them know
So
about
the Facebook Live thing was I interviewed a local nutritionist and we
right.
talked about
okay.
inflammation and chronic pain. And so
Mhm.
she talked about, I interviewed her with, what food you can eat. And I kind of talked about the exercise side, how to know when too much is too much.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right.
And then they could still catch that? Could they still see it on?
Yes. If you just go to my Facebook page,
Mhm.
you just can just scroll down on the videos, or look through the videos.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to show a comment here from one of our current parents who has a child in gymnastics. Just commenting on how, you go from home to home.
Oh, wait. Was there a question or?
So her comment, no, Jen's comment is people like the personal experience versus brick and mortar crowded places.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And I do too. I like to get to, know my patients. You learn so much more about them and, can help you kind of get down to what's really going on. Sometimes, in a hustle bustle clinic, it's hard to,
Well,
get that.
everyone feels more comfortable in their own house. So yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
And excuses, Pete, right? We used to talk about that a lot too. Like the excuses.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, I don't, you show somebody how to sit with good posture with a lumbar roll and they're like, well, I don't have a chair like that. Or here's a great exercise. And they say, well, I can't do that in my house. And I'm right there in their house. And I'm like, this is a great chair. This is a perfect spot. You should use this thing to do this. And so that they have no excuses. So,
what I love that you mentioned before is you talked about exercise bands. And I am so addicted to exercise bands.
Yeah, I have a Movement Monday video on 5 things you can do with an exercise band. So yeah, I mean, you don't even need to spend a lot of money to just.
And then
awesome.
with the job that Pete does, since we travel a lot, you can't take your weights with you.
Right.
So the exercise band
Mm-hmm.
and a yoga mat, which I always keep in the car. I love those things.
I love talking to you, but I gotta show you. There's another person that I was so impressed with, and I don't know if you recognize this person.
That's when she froze.
You see who that is?
No, I can't see. Am I supposed to?
Oh, you can't see
she
it?
can't see the comments. Okay.
Oh, you can't see the comments?
So let's post one. There.
Oh, because I froze?
Yes. Yes,
that's my brother. He makes fun of everything that I do. That's what he does.
Okay, well, let's show the next comment he did because he's being a jokester.
Yeah, I know.
He says activity trackers are great for finding your phone.
Yeah, tell him that he needs to get off his butt and start exercising a little more and not just finding his phone. He needs to.
Last year sometime, my oldest daughter had given me this Michael Kors tracker watch. And I let it sit for the longest. Didn't use it. Like, oh, I don't want to use it. I was consistently working out still, but I was like, you know what? All of a sudden I was like, let me start using this tracker. And now I rarely work out without it just because I want to know heart rate and what I've done. So
because if you need to work out at a certain, the American Heart Association and, all these things have come out with 60 to 80% of your maximum heart rate. And so by having a tracker that tracks your heart rate, you can know whether you're having an effective exercise, whether your exercise is effective. And then the whole community that these activity trackers provide, these social communities, like there's Strava and Garmin Connect and Fitbit, right? Is sometimes, you're looking at somebody who's your friend and you're like, maybe you think you're more fit than they are, and they've got like twice as many, whatever steps or minutes of activity. And you're like, whoa, I better get on it. So it's like a
Right.
good way to gauge, hey, is this person moving more than me? Why aren't I moving? You know, and then I know, like, I'm guilty of it too, Crystal. Like, oh my God, did I get credit for that walk? Did I get credit? I forgot to start.
Exactly. One time I think I was wearing the watch and it didn't register my workout, and I was so
and
bummed.
you're
I was
so
like,
mad, right?
come on. It was like I didn't even work out. No, I'm just kidding. But and it's not working. It won't connect to my new phone, but I'm still trying to be responsive. Like, I still have to work out. So I have to figure out what's wrong with it so I can get it connected to my new phone.
Wow. I am so proud of all the gymnasts that I have. You know, I got to tell you that the first time I got emotional while I was coaching was with you.
Really?
Yes, and Elaine was coaching back then.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know if you remember, I went into the office. I couldn't handle that you were leaving, and I started crying.
When I was leaving, like, to college, or because I hurt my knees?
Well, no, because you came back after you hurt your knee the first time.
Right. Okay.
Right, because it
So I
was
was going to college.
Yeah. So when you and Elaine looked at me and said, "Are you gonna cry?" And then I was fighting it, right? Because remember, we had it became a family.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
A lot of gymnasts.
But, you know, but Pete, even before I came on, I know I was the first team, but like I remember, like, the neighborhood facility, right? I remember my mom signed me up for gymnastics, and I used to come to, I don't remember whatever class, and I remember you would teach me like a back bend, and I remember I was trying to learn, I could do a cartwheel, I was trying to learn how to do a back handspring, and I think you said if I could do a back handspring, I could make the team. But my mom never was on time to ever pick me up, which was probably a good thing, because when we would walk upstairs and we would go across, you know, where the senior citizens used to eat.
Right.
Like, I don't know, somewhere everybody was tumbling or doing their floor routine, and whatever the energy level was in there, I was like, I want to make this team. I want to do what those people were doing. So, like, I don't think it was me. I mean, it was you, because I remember leaving the neighborhood facility, like, every day saying, when is Pete going to say I could go on the team? When is he going to say, like, I remember my mom was like, no, it's too dangerous. You're going to hurt yourself. And I remember telling my mom, I promise I will do whatever you tell me to do, like, whatever, like, I'll do my homework, I'll do every chore, just let me be on this gymnastics team. And it was just the energy, I think, that you brought. And, you look at what gymnastics is now, but I mean, I think the whole thing, the neighborhood facility and being around the senior citizens, we were always very respectful, and, and just, I don't know, it was more, like you said, I mean, it was a family, but you were such a role model and a mentor, because, I always wish that my kids had some kind of mentor like I had, just like you, because, I mean, who, when we used to, first of all, just traveling at such a young age without my parents, and, we had to manage money and be ready on time and get dressed. And it's not like we had some mother come with us, even though, some parents did help out or whatever. But, the parents would go out, and Pete, you would stay with us and make us do, before competition, sit-ups and push-up contests. And I remember me and Jill Katz, whoever went last won, and we would say, no, do over. I don't know how many push-ups and sit-ups we did before a competition, but I mean, we would stay up till like 10 o'clock at night, and like, who does that? Like, I mean, you just, it was just that good competition. It wasn't evil. It was, it was before social media. I don't know if that was a thing. And I mean, I could go on and on. I mean, I don't know if you remember this I actually use as a lesson for my girls. I have two girls who are college age now, but do you remember the time that we went to that competition locally, Pete? And I thought I did terrible, because I probably like fell off the beam, or I don't know, I didn't do what I was supposed to do. And I ended up doing really well in the competition, but I cried. And there was do you remember? And there was a person from the paper who took a picture. I still have it. A picture of me crying, almost like a sore loser. And I'll never forget, Buddy like sat us down and was like, you have to have good sportsmanship, and this is not how we want Monticello School of Gymnastics. And it was just like a lesson, and it was like something I used, going forward with my own family as like, hey, like I know what it's like to, fail or be a sore loser or whatever, and you don't want this to happen to you. So pick it up, So, I mean, there were a lot of like fun and funny, but there were also like some really heartfelt, important lessons that came out of gymnastics. So, I wouldn't change it I for the world. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. And it was a great, wonderful experience. So I probably cried too, Pete, when I left. I probably remember we went to Woodward and we all like hated it and came back because we were like, nope, Pete can only be our coach. No one else can tell us what to do. I came back and I lost all my tricks, and you were like, I lost like my full twist and my back handspring on the beat. I like lost everything, and you were like, "How do you lose it? Like you can do it." And
well,
all those head games, and you put up with us. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I always say to him, like I don't know how he does it. He's been dealing with, and basically the gymnastics teams are predominantly girls. I'm like, how have you dealt with it for over 40 years? And when a parent comes in and says, oh, this and this, I'm like, listen, there is nothing that Pete has never dealt with in his 45 years of coaching. It'll be okay.
Patience. That's what it is. Patience. I remember going home crying hysterically to my mom. And, when you're, and this is a lesson, again, I learned for my kids, came home crying, so upset. I think I lost a back handspring back tuck, rounded back handspring back tuck, because in my head, the thought of being in the air and doing a backflip just didn't make sense, like to the laws of physics. I don't know why that just occurred to me at that moment. But I remember I went home crying, and my mom said, why don't you just quit? And I was like, what? Like, that's not what I wanted to hear from my mom. Like, I was like, what? Like, no. So I never did that again. I was like, that's not going to be good.
Was it reverse psychology?
Yeah. No, I don't know. Well, maybe. But yeah, I mean.
I want to show this comment from, is it Pia?
Oh, that's my sister-in-law.
Okay. Can you see it? Yeah. She's so sweet. She's also started a business too. They own a bookstore, and she's killing it. She's the one who's killing it. She should be. Yeah. A bookstore. Oh, that's music to your ears.
Yeah, that is. But well, that, like I said, I'm very proud of you and what you all have become. And I learned a lot from you, because at the time, I knew the language, but I didn't really know everything. I remember the time that you looked at me and said, taught me the word castration, and I didn't know what it was.
I don't remember being that mean. I don't remember being.
Oh my gosh.
I don't remember. I have to tell you something. Yeah. So I remember making fun of the way you said vault. I remember that was really mean. Yeah. Always made fun of you. But you know what we still say in this family, which is really funny in my family, and my brothers and Pia are probably going to crack up, but we still say, you hit me in my nookie no-no.
Oh.
That's still a very common, don't hit your father in the nookie no-no. That's what we say. That's
oh my gosh. Oh,
that is so funny. One of it, or I don't know, Pam. Do you know Pam? Remember Pam? I think Bialdi, Pam White.
Sounds familiar.
I think that was before you. But she's a comedian now, and she said she's going to use those things on her comic.
I'll laugh. I got a good kick out of it. That was my favorite. That was my favorite.
Yes. We don't use words like that anymore. We don't joke around like that anymore. But
What?
yeah, that's what Pia. Okay.
She said no. She said yes. We are cracking up. Oh my goodness.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah. You guys were amazing. I learned a lot from you. I learned a lot from, when we used to go to the lake and I'd be playing the guitar, you guys were singing.
Mm-hmm.
Good times, great times.
Good times.
And I wanted to bring you on mostly because of what you're doing right now and the things that you started talking about. That is awesome.
Yeah. The physical therapy.
Yes.
Giving back to my community and the one-on-one, and yes, it's awesome. I mean, how many people? I mean, you guys get to do this, but I mean, just very thankful and honored that I get to do something that I truly believe in, I'm passionate about, and I love to do. So it doesn't really feel like work,
Mm-hmm.
So, and then to do it for yourself where, you're building something, is super exciting.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, and we want to put all your info.
Yeah. Announce the information for Tuesdays at 3:00 again, Andrea.
Oh yeah, Tuesdays, 3:00 at the Ridgefield Rec Center, 195 Danbury Road in Ridgefield, Connecticut. If you're close by or you're driving through, I don't know.
And are you doing those talk every week, or?
You mean the
Monday?
Facebook Live? So I just did the Facebook Live one time. Pete, you and Crystal. I mean, it's amazing that you guys do this, but this Monday thing, which I love when I can catch it. I always try to get on there. But it's a lot of work to, like everything you're doing. Like, I mean, even like figuring out the whole this and the question.
No, I just show up.
Well, right. Then there's that. So, so I did the Facebook Live thing one time, but my Movement Monday videos, I try to keep them up. Try to do it every Monday, but sometimes it's every other Monday.
We can always share them. We can always share them. That would be.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to put a video of you doing the beam.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's still there, I believe.
Yeah.
He made another good comment, so we'll show that in a second as soon as we can get the connection figured out. Okay. Is she back?
She moved.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So go back out and come back in.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll do that. It'll make it easier. But yeah, let's post Pia's comment that she posted below. That was
Okay. She's coming back.
Yeah.
And then we could
okay.
put it on.
Well, hang on a second.
Okay, there you go again.
There you are.
Oh. You there, Pia? Yeah.
Can you see her comment?
Yes, I can.
Yeah. That's really sweet.
Yeah.
It's always good to get the version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's probably so many things. Yeah, you should get the whole team together because you forget so many things, and then you mention something, and then you're like, oh my gosh, like that's right, I forgot about that.
Right. We had the last reunion we had was here in Monticello. We got to do that again, and I got in touch with Lori, but it's 2:00 in the morning right now over there.
I saw her post that. I know.
Yeah. So I'm working on doing the whole team, the first team, and then
maybe find out when's the next time she's going to be in Florida.
Right.
Because her mom's in Florida, right? And then maybe.
Right, Myrna. Right. Yep.
I don't know if you saw the picture, but I posted the photo of when the newspaper came.
Well, I saw the pictures that you posted. Yeah. The one from the calendar, and then the one where, it's so funny. I remember myself, at that age, but I didn't realize it said I was the youngest. I don't think I'm the youngest at anything. I don't know.
Yeah. Those were good times.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we are going to do that. We're planning it because actually tonight wasn't the night that you were supposed to be on. We were planning on doing it later. We were supposed to have the people from Made in China.
From a film we were doing.
From a film.
That
the cast from the film, but they're actually coming on next week. So I figured you were there. So
here I am. See, available. Look at that.
So I thank you. I thank you very much for doing it in such a short notice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's an honor, and anytime I get to talk to you guys, it's great. So fun.
It's great talking to you.
Yes, likewise.
We could talk all night.
I know.
And the people that will understand will be the first team. Or the
I know. We could say so many things. I have Denise Schneider's, Biggie Smalls, and everybody's names, and muscles. I still use that. I call some of my patients. I started saying muscles marinara. Do you remember that, Pete?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Denise, I saw her daughter on the Tonight Show.
Oh, really?
And I thought it was her. Just like I said, but wait a minute, she didn't age. I looked just like her. It was hysterical. I'm looking. Is that Denise? Yeah. That's
cool. Yeah. So I still say a lot of things that you say, Pete. They're ingrained.
Well, you guys
remember the time I got so mad at you, so frustrated and so mad, because there was a rule that every time you said I can't, you had to do 25 sit-ups.
Oh, yeah. I don't do that. Yes.
Yeah, if you said I can't, he said you have to do 25 push-ups, and I was so angry. I don't know how many times I said it, but I ended up doing the entire gymnastics, sit-ups, and push-ups the whole day. Because I was so
then you stopped saying it.
Strong-headed that I was just so frustrated, and I probably never did that again either.
We had it. We actually had it posted on the wall that you couldn't say that word.
Yep.
He still has that rule. The consequences are not the same, but he still has that rule.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the number of times that I said "Ready, Pete." It's probably any tape that you have. "Ready, Pete." "Ready, Pete." Ready. Because I wasn't ready.
Oh, I love it.
They still do that today. Are you ready?
Yeah. I'm right here. Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Good story.
Okay, such delightful. Like I said, we could talk all night.
We could.
We're gonna lose some people because they're like, what are they talking about?
I know. I see Liz came on. She just came on.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hi, Liz.
Hi, Liz.
She's making fun of me now. She hasn't seen me in years, and she's.
I thought she was going to bring up the
enough
story
with the "Are you ready, Pete?" Just do it.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought she was going to talk about West Point. Hi.
Yeah.
When I met her do that bad talk from the high bar.
Oh my
gosh. I know.
Come on, I got you.
Yeah. The best.
So
thanks so much for having me on. This was really fun.
No, thank you for coming on.
Thank you for joining us. It was
love to get together with the team and love what you're doing. And oh my gosh, anytime you post Tweed Gymnastics, oh, I just love it. I just love it. I just love watching your little girls. It just brings me back, and it's just, oh, I just love it. I just love watching.
Wow. You know what? I was thinking when you were talking about proper way to do exercise, that we should bring you over here and talk to our girls.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sure.
You know, about squats. Proper way of doing it. There we go.
Right. How to squat, how to, like strength training, how to keep your knees aligned, and landing, practicing landing. That's right. Something that I should have had, right?
Mm-hmm.
For that's my, right. That's how I blew my knees out. But hey.
Yeah. Right. It was a layout. I remember the day.
Me too. Yeah, but you know what? It makes you stronger, right? It all boils down to who you are and what you do with adversity and how you pick yourself up and move on. And so, but I think you were a big part of that, Pete. And and I can't thank you enough. And I'm so glad that I took the route that I took. And and I hope. I'm sure that you're a great mentor and role model to the girls that you have now. But, I always wish that, everyone has that person that you are, because you need all the help you can get growing up and navigating life. It's rough. And, it was great.
It's not all about gymnastics. It's about, the life that gymnastics. I mean, you're standing in the 4-inch beam. That would give you confidence to do anything. Once you face that beam, you could face anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, it was definitely more than a sport and more than just gymnastics. It was amazing, and you guys are amazing. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Oh, look, do you recognize this person? Because let me show you. We call him the Honorable.
No, that's the wrong one.
No, wrong one. This one right here. Look at this guy right here.
That's my dad reminding me who my knee surgeon was. Thanks, Dad.
Oh, okay.
He did put me back together, Bart Nissenson. I have to give him some credit, but but the mental part, the mental part.
Yes.
Yeah. He thought I had such a good attitude, Dr. Nissenson, that he used to have other female young patients like 14, 15, 16 who were thinking of having their ACL reconstructed call me at home at my house and talk to me about like how I was able to get through it and all that. And
wow,
I just think that was because I just had like a good head on my shoulders and great support and motivation and loved what I did and want to get back to it. And, and so, so it was a good team, good everything. So.
That is true. Elizabeth said the judges didn't know what to do with that because there wasn't such skill back then. I made it up. So they didn't know what to do with that.
Oh, when you made her do the backflip thing?
Yes.
Right.
Yes. It was a squat on the high bar, and then she had to stand up and flip.
Oh my gosh!
So when she casted and landed on the high bar, the judges just went like this. They got scared.
Well, there were so many things that happened with you, Pete. Because remember when we used to travel together, and there was this, I forget, like up in Binghamton. I forgot the name of the gymnastics team up there, but there was a coach who every time you would make my bar routine and we would go. The next time we went to competition, his gymnast was doing my bar routine.
Oh yeah,
you told me about that. You told me about that.
So I mean, it was you. You were the mastermind behind all this crazy stuff, and then
I see that one of the girls that was stealing our routine. She's a principal now at a school.
Oh really?
Yeah, they used to video. I remember they video your routine, and the judge told me that I had to cut your routine because you had so many release moves.
Oh.
Because remember you were doing flying over the bar,
Right.
catching, and front somersault, catching bar.
Not baby flyaway, but the one where you swing up and the low bar in between your legs and grab the high bar. I forgot what that's called.
Right. Yep. You can't do that anymore. The bars are too far away.
Oh, the bars are too far away, of course.
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah, she did a front flip where she would catch from the low bar and then reach between her leg and catch the high bar.
Okay.
You saw the video.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So I wish next time I'm gonna have the videos all set.
Yes.
So they could see what we're talking about. Oh man, we were gonna get up, but look who's coming on now.
I know. I'm missing all the conversation. Yeah, because they're all talking to each other. Yeah, that's what I said, Liz. Pete said the craziness. Remember, I don't know if they were on or we were talking about the parades or the when the tag sale at the Stop and Shop, and Pete would say no one would be giving us money, and Pete would just say, Andrea, do a round up and hamstring back tuck. And then we'd be like, okay, sure. And then all of a sudden people would be interested or oh my gosh. I hope they remember that was my favorite thing is when Pete put the bars outside. That was like best day ever. Oh my gosh.
Even drive by and watch,
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think we had a picture of that where the newspaper stopped by and did the story.
Yeah, did a story. Yep.
That's funny. So I should say the young ladies that are watching, I said the girls, I still think of you guys like 10, 11 years old.
I know.
And
I still look at them on Facebook, and I'm like, Susie looks the same. Liz looks okay. Her hair's a little bit longer, I think, or it's not up, but she looks the same. I mean, Tammy looks the same. I mean, everybody looks the same. I'm grayer, but growing old gracefully. But yeah.
There you go. Fine. There you go.
That's fine. The girls that are watching, remember, we're gonna get a show together where we bring in everybody. I think Sonia, you remember Sonia Petronka?
Yes. Yeah.
She kind of wanted us to do a Zoom together.
Oh, okay.
So even though we're separate, we could be together and talk about this whole thing because I've been enjoying all this.
Zooms are fun.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I'm sure everybody would Zoom. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we have to wait for a time that we could get Lori because she's sleeping right now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, we could figure that out. I mean, maybe we could do, just go 6 hours ahead. Well, maybe that's not good for us. I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. Yeah. There's Liz. Yes. Oh, there you go. Yes, let's Zoom. Sounds good. Yeah. Yeah. I think it'd be fun. Pete, you have so much stories. You have such a good memory.
Yeah.
And you have all of our memories where maybe I didn't witness a conversation you had with someone, you have them all. Like I only have so much, so to hear the stories of everybody is, awesome.
We got Paige. You remember Paige?
I do remember Paige. Yeah.
She's a movie director now.
Oh, wow.
Right. So we had her on
earlier.
And a comedian too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So we had her on, and she was talking about, and it's a story that I have forgotten, that we were at the hotel, and we were jumping from one bed to the other, doing front somersault. And she reminded me of that. I said, "Oh yeah, I remember that."
Oh my gosh.
I remember a lot of fun in those hotel rooms. See, that's Pete. That's why the parents, the moms, had to go out to dinner so that we could have fun back in the rooms, because you wouldn't tell us not to, practice. That's why.
And jump on the beds.
Right. But we weren't jumping on the beds. We were doing tricks on the beds.
You were right. You were flipping on the beds.
Yeah, of course.
I better not say too much because there's some of the parents from the team now are watching. I was just
Oh
going to
my
say
gosh.
that. Susan, it was Andrea that hit the cigarette when the bus stopped.
I remember that story.
Hit the cigarette.
From Buddy.
Oh, hid the cigarette. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, we had a love-hate relationship, didn't we? My favorite, can I tell you, I wish Lori Goldsmith, but I know she's going to watch this. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I wish Lori Goldsmith was here. But one of my favorite, this was a car ride when, or maybe it was a van ride. I don't know. Or maybe like a small bus ride. And Buddy was driving, and we were, these long bus rides. Like we didn't have, we had music and we had ourselves, right? And we made up all these crazy games. Remember, like if you went under a bridge, you had to lift your hands up. Or if you went by a graveyard, you had to hold your breath. And if a car went by, you had to clap. And if there was all those games. So we were, remember, it's now Interstate 86. But remember old 17? And we sort of like, oh, we go, us, we go, wherever,
We go, yeah.
Deposit, I don't know. We drove all over the state, right? Buffalo. And I remember in the 80s, there's like no exits, right? I mean, maybe now that it's interstate, there's like no exits. And Lori, and we changed the rules that until so if there was a bridge and you had to put your hands up, you weren't allowed to put your hands down until you got to the next thing,
bridge.
Right?
Yeah,
So which didn't make sense, because if there was a graveyard, you couldn't hold your breath till you got to the next graveyard. But we were kids. So I remember Lori Goldsmith had to hold her arms up for like an hour. She was stuck with her arms up. And we finally got to a bridge, an overpass, and Buddy pulled over. Buddy Goldsmith, her father, pulls over before the bridge and made her hold her hands up and just tormented her until she threw a fit, and he finally did the bridge.
Oh my gosh, it's terrible.
Oh my God, I'll never forget that. She was so angry at him. Oh my God. She's going to laugh when she hears that story. That was
Show the very last comment. This is crazy. You brought the springboard to the pool so they can do tricks into the pool.
Yes,
oh
absolutely.
My gosh.
Well, that was summer camp, right?
Yeah, that was summer camp.
Yeah, summer camp. Yeah.
To the pool.
See, things that I forget. Yeah.
Oh, someone said Delano.
Delano.
Yes. Delano. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Elizabeth said the Delano. That is nuts.
Yeah.
Who said
Oh
Delano?
my God.
Elizabeth Cohen said it. Up a couple comments up. She said, yes, what about camp days at the Delano?
Yes.
You used to bring the springboard so they can do tricks into the pool.
That's right.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Good times. Good times. We're all still alive and walking with all our limbs, so it's all good.
Yeah. It's a good time. That was the start of everything. When I first came there, and I wanted to do gymnastics, and they said, how about teaching?
Yeah. Yeah, but when you think back and it just warms your heart, then you know it was the best,
Yes.
So it was great.
So remember.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that too.
We still do that.
We still do it. Yeah.
Right. Yep. Liz, man, she has a good memory. Good memory.
Yeah. Everybody remember different things.
Everybody has different memories. Yeah. Yeah. So we'll have to Zoom or get together and do something super, super fun. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely up for it.
Okay. We'll let you know. It looks like, we had going on here today.
Yeah.
So everybody that's watching, we are going to do that. We set up a date for it. You probably know when we're doing Tweed Talk or when we're doing Tweed Talk. And it was a pleasure. I'm going to get some videos together.
Yeah.
So you could see when you were competing, because some of the things you were doing over 30 years ago. I tell the kids that you should be doing that. Yeah.
Thanks.
So we thank you, Andrea.
Thank you, guys. Yeah.
Yes.
Fun. And I'll come stop by when I come visit my dad. I'll stop by.
Absolutely. We love to see you live.
All right.
I'm thanking everybody for tuning in.
Yes, and for all the comments.
And we're going to give you all the information, and I hope that we talk to you again the near
Yeah.
future.
Very, very soon.
Yeah.
All right, we love you. Thank you.
Have a good night.
I knew talking to her was going to take a long time because we had so much to say. And I'm glad that some of the gymnasts came in. I was going to send them the link actually so they could come in, but there's a lot of gymnasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of gymnasts. No one tuned in for the what is the contest we have? The
Yeah.
trivia.
We gotta wait till people say that they want to do it.
Okay. And you get a gift when you answer the right
Free
question.
Tweed Talks swag.
Right.
Free.
And next week, by Tuesday, I will know who will be on the show for next week because
You mean tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow. Tomorrow he's gonna send me
Oh,
the list
oh.
of the people that are gonna be on the show. We can't have the whole cast, of course, because that would be a lot.
Mhm.
But he's gonna send me the list of the people that are actually gonna be on the
Okay.
show. It's very exciting. DJ, thank you for being there.
A little smiley emoji.
I thought that DJ was a genius when he was. I think he still is a
Oh
genius.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys for joining us live on Tweed Talks. We will see you next Monday, and don't forget all the interviews are going to be available on our YouTube page. Follow us, subscribe on YouTube at Tweed Talks. Have a good night.
Love, peace, and harmony. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.